Several video clips have been used in this production to help illustrate the message I'm trying to share. I'm in no way claiming these videos to be my own and give full credit to the creator.
I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
The green pale color horse, it comes with war, hunger, and disease. And it also said the wild animal. You would think that the animal is going to kill us at the end of time, but it's not speaking like that. It's speaking that we as people is now starting to turn into a wild animal. We have no spiritual love for one another. We have no fear of God. Now in this next video, you will see how one man becomes the wild animal.
The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. If you're not fit, you probably won't last long. It's everyone for himself, and as long as you're roaming the bush, you need to watch your back, or else you could end up being served for Sunday dinner. Have you ever seen a pack of wild dogs take on a buffalo? What about a leopard take on a warthog? If you're into exciting animal battles, stay tuned as we count down 15 wild animal attacks caught on video. Number 15. Wild dogs versus warthogs. Warthogs are tough animals and they have razor-sharp tusks. But one warthog alone against a pack of wild dogs isn't going to cut it. In our first clip, these wild dogs come to the entrance of a warthog's den uninvited and snap at the warthog from all sides. The warthog doesn't even have time to blink and it's already being prepped for dinner. The dogs show no pity as they devour the warthog. Our next clip isn't for the faint of heart. These wild dogs tear to pieces a young warthog. A few adult warthogs are in the area, but they don't seem to want to get involved. The poor warthog was still trying to get away with half of its body missing. This next clip shows a warthog being confronted by a pack of wild dogs. It knows this and it's not sticking around, so it starts to run, but the dogs chase it. The warthog digs a trench and goes in defense mode, but even that may not be enough to fend off the attack. Wild dogs are known for being some of the best hunters in Africa, but they also don't seem to care if the prey is still alive while they're still eating it. You can see them eating this warthog alive in this footage. In our next video, this warthog thinks it's safe by remaining in the water, but the wild dogs don't really care as they drag it.
And like I said, that's part of this process that the court found that he deserved the maximum punishment.
The three judges had to weigh his past, like his family history and mental illness, against the severity of his crimes. They also compared this case to others in the past.
Each one of these murders was a deliberate and planned act. The victims were pre-selected and the murders were purposeful.
And now it's a time for healing and for these families to maybe have some closure after 4 long years.
I'm ready to go home and heal. That's what I want.
Crocodile versus impala. Impalas are athletic and quick, but once an apex predator like the crocodile manages to get its teeth on it, there isn't much the impala can do, except recite 10 Hail Marys. In our first clip, these hippos save this impala from a sure death as they prevent this crocodile from getting to it. This next clip is a rare occurrence. This crocodile has a firm grip on this impala, but the impala manages to set itself free. This massive crocodile pops out of the water and grabs this impala. It definitely looks like it's the end of the road for the little herbivore as its head slowly sinks underwater. Some hippos are disturbed and come and check out what the commotion is, but it doesn't look like it will change anything. Crocodiles use stealth and ambush to capture impalas, just like in this video when this crocodile jumps out of the water and grabs this impala. You could tell the impala was terrified of drinking and sensed the danger, but it had to quench its thirst. In this next clip, the impala is on a small island with the presence of a crocodile, so it jumps in the water and risks its life to escape. The crocodile chases the impala in the water and catches up to it, but miraculously, a hippo intervenes and attacks the crocodile. Sadly, the impala still dies and the crocodile never resurfaces. In our next clip, at a Kruger watering hole, witness the force and speed of an adult crocodile brutally flipping an impala into the air. The Impala was caught minutes before while drinking along the water's edge and appeared to have drowned. In this next clip, the Impala gets lucky and the crocodile misses out on a nice meal. But every time the Impala returns for a drink, it's risking its life. These poor animals have to drink with the fear of being eaten.
Video shows members of two rival gangs opening fire right in the middle of this busy Denver car wash and right in front of kids.
2 people were killed. One of the gang members was sentenced in federal court today. And only on Denver 7, Jennifer Kowaleski sat down with the ATF. Jen, they were able to charge this guy even though they never found the gun?
And the ATF says it's rare they're able to file federal charges without a weapon. But thanks to the video and shell casings left behind from all of these bullet holes, they were able to charge him. Tonight, we're getting a rare look inside the case.
It was the middle of the afternoon at a popular gas station.
A beef between the Crips and Bloods. Gunfire just steps away from 2 innocent young children at this car wash off 35th and Downing.
You see those 2 kids there in the minivan, and every time I think, thank God they weren't hit.
It starts when the guy in white notices a group of rival gang members.
Some posturing going on, and just about in a split second, you're going to see gunfire.
2 people are hit. The guy in white runs back to the car wash, gets the gun from his friend, and fires back.
There it is. And then if you notice the shell casing went on top of the vehicle there, that's going to be later recovered by investigators.
Chris Ammon with the ATF says it's that evidence, along with the video, that helped put 39-year-old Diedrich Mayfield behind bars.
It is rare that ATF charges just ammunition, but in this case, we were able to ensure that he was taken off the street.
Ammon says they usually need the smoking gun or firearm to charge someone.
In this case, we never recovered the firearm, but the statute says firearm or ammunition. So you don't necessarily need the firearm to charge a convicted felon.
Which is why the ATF says it hopes Mayfield's sentence sends a strong message.
We won't tolerate that here, and we will get you by any means necessary.
Tomorrow marks the anniversary of the shootout. Mayfield pled guilty and will spend close to 5 years in federal prison. I'm Jennifer Kowaleski for Denver 7.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters, all those who've been following with me and standing with me in the Word of God. Now we come up with Revelation, chapter 6. We're going to talk about when the 4th horseman, the green pale-colored horse, it spoke of when he opened up the 6 seals. I saw a green pale-colored horse. And it started speaking of that it's bring war, flame, and disease. And it's also said the wild animals. Now in this story right here, it kind of makes you think that the wild animals at the end of time gonna be killing us. You know, we're gonna be attacked by all the wild animals on earth. They probably kill us. That's what you would think. They're saying we will be killed by wild animals when it comes to the end of time. But you gotta kind of question that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Is it so that the animal is gonna kill us, or is it go that we are gonna become like animals? We're gonna have no human love for one another. You know what I'm saying? The human compassion for one another had left us. Now we are acting like the animals in the jungle. We don't have no passion for no one now. You know what I'm saying? Then like I said, Jesus once said this prayer over and over and over. All his disciples speak of the prayer. You know, the Lord's Prayer. You know, I'm gonna kind of narrow it down to size. And I'm kind of give you an understanding. It started off, praise to God. May heaven and earth be the same. You know what I'm saying? Then it said, forgive me for all the ones that I haven't hurted, as I forgive those who hurted me. It's about that. It said, give me, day by day, give me your spirit knowledge. Then also speak of, protect me in a moment of temptation, and keep me strong from the evil one. You know, that is one of the Lord's prayers that been passed out ever since we was baby, put in our heart to give us a soul, to give us something to love one another. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like something, one, love us, a greater force love us as a human. When you're little, your mother and them tells you their prayer over and over and over. It makes you feel like a blanket over you, someone protecting you. But where have the world have came to? What have we done now? You see on TV all these different crime shows, 48 hours, this crime show, that crime show, and you see how reckless people are acting. Like the only thing motivate us now is the evil one, the evil spirit now. You know, have we really coming to the end time when human is acting like animals? Now in this video right here, I'm gonna show you we acting just like animals. You know, and I hope you enjoyed this study. If you like the story, give me a thumb up. You know, and this is my understanding of thinking out loud. I hope you enjoyed the study. Have a good day.
Matthew chapter 6 verse 9 to 13. In this manner, therefore pray, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Number 1. Leopard versus warthog. Warthogs are tough cookies, and they're not an easy prey to kill. In this first kill, a young leopard is playing hide and seek with the warthog. The warthog is counting to 10, but the leopard stays there just to make sure the warthog isn't cheating. The warthog finally finishes counting, and the leopard finally decides to go in. In this next clip, this young leopard has the warthog in a headlock, but it doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. It finally decides to put the warthog to sleep. This leopard manages to dig a warthog out of its burrow, and it's an easy kill. These two leopards work together to kill this warthog. Leopards have amazing stealth, and when combined with their powerful jaws, they are difficult predators to run away from, as you can see in this footage. This warthog has no chance of escaping. Finally, the conflict between leopards and warthogs is usually exciting. This encounter is no different, with a large male leopard catching a large warthog. In these conflicts, the outcome is never certain.
Tonight, chilling video taken by a 20-year-old woman who was murdered just moments later. Her 18-year-old boyfriend accused of pulling the trigger that ended her life.
It's the 6th domestic violence homicide in Macomb County in the past 2 months. 7 News reporter Andrea Isom joins us live with more on this story and what the prosecutor is saying about this tragic case. Andrea?
You know, guys, we've all been doing this job for a very long time. We've seen a lot, but I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Law enforcement, they're frustrated, they're alarmed, and we all should be.
You know, everything about this case is awful, and this certainly just adds to it.
Because this is what 20-year-old India Mackey saw and heard mere moments before she was murdered.
You think I'm playing, huh?
Okay.
You think I'm playing, huh? Hit you with this big 4-5 hollow tips, gonna eat your up.
Those angry, hate-filled words and despicable actions from her boyfriend, 18-year-old Kevin Dixon, police say, a young man who was supposed to love India, but this is anything but.
This video is being taken by a woman who's going to be killed in moments is unbelievable to me. The idea that he's pulling the bullet out, wiping his fingerprints off, showing it to her.
It chills you to the bone, says Macomb County prosecuting attorney Eric Smith, and I agree.
The last thing her family has of her is the video where she is pointing the camera at the man who's going to kill her. But after he shoots her, gets out of his car, pushes her over into the passenger seat, and takes off driving in the car.
Smith says India was shot inside a van outside of this home on Shirley Street in Warren. But according to cops, Dixon's criminal behavior did not end there.
East Point PD gets all these calls about a white van that's driving erratically over the road. They stop the car, and they find her dead in the passenger seat.
Dixon was arrested and is now facing first-degree murder, carrying a concealed weapon, and felony firearm charges. Dixon's bond was denied, so he sits behind bars. But that is not all that went down in court.
We charge his mother as well. He takes his girlfriend's phone, this poor woman that was shot, and calls his mother on the phone and says, "Mom, go to the house and get the gun." So we charge her with accessory after effect and tampering with evidence.
In Macomb County alone, in just the last couple of months, law enforcement has seen 6 domestic violence homicides. It's sad, startling, and alarming.
Number 13. Wild dogs versus hippo. Hippos are not the prey of choice for wild dogs, but they hate each other. Hippos usually chase wild dogs trying to hunt an impala or another prey, and that's why these two don't get along. I'm not sure that hippos fear wild dogs, but they sure find them annoying. This first hippo stands in a small mud pond surrounded by wild dogs. The dogs are trying to get the impala stuck in the mud after they had it in their grasp before it was able to get away. I don't think they stand much of a chance, and they know it too. Wild dogs are highly successful when they attack because they attack in numbers. But even that is not enough to take on a monstrous hippo like this one. Once the dogs realize this and disperse, the hippo who didn't bother with the impala at first seems to take out its anger out on the poor animal by crushing it in seconds and throwing it off to the side where the dogs manage to take it. In this next clip, a kudu escapes a pack of wild dogs by jumping into the water, but a hippo catches up to the kudu and brings it back to shore where the dogs wait. The hippo ends up playing tug of war with the wild dogs using the kudu as rope. Finally, one wild dog faces a hippo swimming to the riverbank. The dog seems alone and sort of backs off when the hippo gets closer. Number 12.
Father and son accused of hunting the man down and shooting him. The son still on the run tonight.
7 Action News reporter Anne-Marie LaFlame shows us why he is one of Detroit's most wanted.
When you see the video, it's hard to believe this was all over a paper delivery, coupons. But Carlton Perry almost died, and he lives in fear every day that Jafar Taufik will come and finish the job.
I threw the newspaper on the porch.
It's all documented in this surveillance video from November 27th here on Montrose on Detroit's west side. Carlton Perry delivering coupon flyers, something police say Mushtaq Abdul Karim clearly wasn't happy about.
He came out and started yelling at me, so he picked up the paper and threw it at me.
Carlton called his boss, who told him to take a picture of the house to ensure they wouldn't deliver there again. That outraged Abdul Karim and brought another man outside. Police identify him as 21-year-old Jafar Taufik, Abdul Karim's son. And that's when police say father and son went on the hunt.
The son drove up and pointed a gun at me and shot like 3 shots, but they missed.
He says the father also tried to stab him before the men returned home.
And you see him clear as day, him and the father or the mother arguing by the side of the house. Taufik grabs his gun, which is in plain view, starts shooting in the air again.
But Carlton's nightmare was far from over as Taufik and his father went after him again.
I just felt the bullet hit my back and I just fell to the ground. And it felt like I couldn't move or nothing. All I could do was just pray and hope that the police come like they say they would.
He says the father and son then tried to get him into the van.
I think I would have never heard from him again. I think I would have just disappeared. I think they would have just basically killed me and just threw me somewhere.
Mushtaq Abdul Karim was charged with attempted murder. He's now out on bond, but his son Jafar Taufik has been on the run since the shooting, while Carlton lives with the emotional and physical scars of what happened that day.
Sometimes I just want to cry because I'm basically like wounded and I'm looking like I got scars. Even if I did like get over it, I got scars on my body from that situation.
Jafar Taufik is 5'10", 150 pounds.
We think this guy is still in the area. We think he's either on the west side of Detroit or he has huge ties to Dearborn.
Unpredictable?
See, my problem here is we got honest citizens, Detroiters, making an honest living out here, doing a job. And you got this guy reckless, no regard for anything.
And armed.
If you would shoot a newspaper boy or a delivery guy, or somebody trying to give you coupons, who else would you shoot?
Now, as always, there's a cash reward for the arrest of Jafar Taufik. You can call the U.S. Marshals anytime at 313-234-5656. And remember, you can always remain anonymous. I'm Anne-Marie LaFlame, 7 Action News.
Thank you. Warhog. Warhogs are fearless and dangerous animals and can do a lot of damage to human. But how do they match up against the king of the jungle? Do they have a fighting chance against an apex predator such as the lion? Of course, the warhog isn't an idiot, and he's not going to walk up to a lion and tell it to its face that it's going to kick his butt. Warhog or no warhog, it ain't happening. What is happening is the lion is going to chase the warhog until the warhog has no other choice but to fight the lion. The warhog better have a few prayers ready and his own personal copy of the Bible if it hopes to come out of such a fight alive. The warhog is surprisingly fast, but the lion gains ground on it every step of the way. You just wonder when the lion's big paws will eventually tap the warhog's ass cheeks and bring it down. The warhog doesn't give up. No kidding. The poor bastard is running for its life. It knows if it gets caught, it won't have a chance of escaping. The only thing it can hope for is that the lion eventually tires up and gives up. But that's not happening. In this next clip, 2 male lions pull a warthog out of its hole and have it for lunch. There isn't much the warthog can do in the grasp of 2 male lions like this. This next clip is sad. These lions catch a baby warthog who screams for its life, and it almost looks as if the lions understand because they don't touch it for a few seconds. But then they realize they must eat and the baby is no more. Another lion pulls a warthog out of its den. I think someone should tell these warthogs where Home Depot is located so they can buy doors to install in the fronts of their dens, so things like this don't happen again. Number 10. Wild dog versus buffalo.
Matthew chapter 6 verse 9 to 13. In this manner, therefore pray, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.